Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sohum Reactions. Today's request comes from Russell, who wants us to check out the English 60s rock band, the Moody Blues. And maybe you'll remember that many moons ago on this channel we actually listened to The Night in White Satin by the Moody Blues, so I'm not completely unfamiliar with their stuff, but one song is still not enough to get a good grasp of an artist, so I was excited today when I got this request. So thank you very much, Russell, for bringing more Moody Blues to the channel. We're going to start off with the song Question and then end off with I'm Just a Singer. As always, guys, if you'd like to request a reaction yourself, the link is in the description box below. But now, let's quickly jump into it. When I hear a song titled Question, I think of System of a Down, Question. A Spade Collar video. Feels very poker fuel. That was fast acoustic. Almost like a galloping acoustic strumming pattern, akin to what you would hear in like an electric guitar.
Get an answer when we're knocking at the door with 1,000 million questions about hate and death and war. 'Cause when we stop and look around us, there is nothing that we need.
Oh, you hear the melody
in
of the
a world
bass.
of persecution that is burning its greed.
Oh man, these lyrics, the word burning is greed. That'll come from that too, by the way. You look at all the marketing manipulation and craziness going on. That is so catchy. Oh, now I emulated in the strings.
Why do we never get an answer when we're knocking at the door? Because the truth is hard to swallow. That's what the war of love is for.
What was that lyric? Because the truth is hard to swallow. Something is hold on, let me hear that again.
At the door. Because the truth is hard to swallow. That's what the war of love is for.
The war of love is for. Because love is like a shining of truth. But that was all a rather intense way to start the song.
That you say it when you do those things to me.
As if the universe is listening to me. The moment I say the beginning's intense, this section brightens up. It's like when this clearing.
It's not the way that you say it when you do those things to me. It's more the way that you mean it when you tell me what will be. And when you stop, think about it, you won't believe it's true that all the love you've been giving has all been meant for you. I'm looking for someone to change my life.
That sounds nice.
I'm looking for a miracle in my life. And if you could
The
see
strings are getting
what it's done
climactic.
to me, to lose the love I knew could safely lead me through. Between the silence of the mountains.
I'm pretty sure I'm hearing a flute layer in there as well, which is giving me this kind of Blackmore's Night kind of a feel, which is not not what I was expecting to think during this listen. Also, because of the major difference in style that we noticed between like that intro section and where we've arrived now, it also made me think of the direction the lyrics have gone, because in the beginning we were talking about like the economic unrest and issues plaguing the world, like war, greed, and now we've seemingly shifted to a more interpersonal, like almost a love song in this section. So it's interesting that we have both aspects to these lyrics within this song. Something about society holistically, and something interpersonal. Both end up mattering, and the way I think about it is the way that we can tackle some of these larger than life issues is by starting within and shoring up all of our weak spots and trying to be more loving as individuals in our own relationships and friend circles and families, and we start from within and propagate outward.
And the crashing of the sea, the lights and lamp I once lived in, and she's waiting there for me. But in the gray of the morning, my mind becomes confused between the dead and the sleeping, and the road that I must choose. I'm looking for someone to change my life.
It's so gentle now, but I can hear the building pressure behind this melody.
What it's done to me, to lose the love I knew could safely lead me to the land that I once knew, to learn as we grow old, the secrets of your soul. It's not the way that you say it when you do those things to me. It's more the way you really mean it when you tell me what will be.
So not about the tonality, like maybe it comes out a bit more harshly or a bit more curt, but the intention is pure. And so that reframing usually helps when it comes to like managing difficult conversations where my perception of how the conversation is going or how the tone is coming across may be different than the intention of the other. And in those like more heated moments, it's extremely hard to bring ourselves outside of those emotions and think like, no, but this person actually is trying to make this right with me. We're just a bit more animated right now, and that ends up potentially adding more fuel to the fire. And if we can routinely reframe those occurrences with, but it wasn't intentional, and despite it not being intentional, you don't want that behavior to persist, and it can be addressed, but we don't have to allow, let's say, a conversation to become fully derailed because of minor missteps. And that's going to happen when it comes to conversation, especially when it relates to something about emotion in our dynamic. We're going to be imperfect, and if we can accept our imperfections, then we can also accept those within another, and then again work to kind of bridge the gap and smooth things over.
When you tell me what will be.
Oh, now we're back to the intro with that strumming. That's a good melody. I'm glad the song returned here, by the way. It's a smart structure for
But we
outro.
never get an answer when we're knocking at the door with 1,000 million questions about hate and death and war. We're knocking at
I
the
feel like the
door.
song is stabilized in a weird way, even though it's more climactic. It all makes sense to me now. Huge orchestra. Wow. Yeah, all about questioning the things that are wrong with the world and maybe even questioning what's going on at home, but with the realization that we pretty much have everything that we need, and oftentimes we overdo it with our incessant need for more. And think about it, you don't need more, you already have everything that you need. This whole idea of more, of greed, of, I don't know, all of the things that keep us in this perpetual state of anxiety because we feel like we don't have enough. It's the sort of it's the sort of Trojan horse of the life fuel that we actually need. What we actually need in this world is self-esteem, is love, is respect, is care for one another. What we don't need more of is money. Now, we do need to live comfortably. We do need to sort of have those, like, Maslow's hierarchy of true needs met. Anything past that, it is all marketing, it is all preying on our anxieties. And so many of these wars that we see, even to this day, are all fueled by wanting more, by greed, by fear of losing, the scarcity mindset. The world is abundant, it is overflowing with opportunity, it is overflowing with resources, and it's always been my position that we are far better off as a society, as a civilization, as a human race, if we can rely on one another rather than constantly butt heads. When there's a million reasons to fight each other, we should try to look for the reasons to work together. And whether it's at the interpersonal level, whether it's at the societal level, it's all necessary, and it all needs to kind of align at each of those strata. And I feel like my approach is like that bottom up from the individual to the broader society, and I think logically that makes sense. I don't have as much intuition as to how, like, policy and what government can do to do a top-down approach, because seemingly everything that happens from that style of improving, we'll say, tends to lead to negative externalities that disproportionately and negatively impact those who are lesser off. It's foolish, and it's so strange that everyone, like all of the academics, anybody with some modicum of intuition, we all know that the system is not set up right for people to succeed. And we have to question all of these things and why. And the outcomes are right there on full display, but oftentimes people in positions of power, they will pretend like the mechanisms that cause these outcomes don't exist at all. It's very foolish, and for me, I've always kind of been a natural born skeptic. I've always tried to critically think wherever possible, for better or for worse. I think that we don't give ourselves enough care and attention like we should, and we kind of have weirdly enough deferred that role to others who don't necessarily have our best interest in mind. So, something to think about, not to be too bleak or anything. I feel like we have a very bright future ahead of us if we allow ourselves to have it. You know what I mean? But interesting song. I do like the fact that stylistically we had the sort of faster paced acoustic strumming at the intro and outro, kind of like bookending this song very well, which those sections seemingly talked about the war, about the greed, about how society is problematic in some of its current, in the way that it's currently running, and then in the middle we have that interpersonal thing. So it's kind of like the idea of the meat of the issue being within us, and then around the edges is where things get kind of extrapolated, and things can snowball into something becoming very good or very bad. And depending on what all go down. The future may not look so pretty if we don't care enough. So enough of me yapping. Let's check out the next track here. This is I'm Just a Singer. Oh, he is hitting that drum kit. He's picked up speed soon, crashing into there. Moody Blues bass lines are fun to listen to. The recording quality is a little bit better, but they are rocking this blasted sound. Wow. I like the lyrics a lot. Great energy in this track. It's kind of like a humbling statement. Like, I am in this world just as you are, trying to figure out this whole life thing. And even though I'm in the privileged position of touring the world and breaking those language barriers and, being a musician, a lot of people's dream, I still don't have all of the answers. I don't have, I'm not like above you. You can say it like that. And funny that I said you don't have all the answers, because maybe this is the answer to the previous song question, but I digress. The fact remains we are all human no matter what strata or what occupation, or what strata of society or what occupation we hold. We are all innately human and connected because of that reason. If we let them. The silent majority cannot stay silent. Dude, the intensity of this is crazy. Absolutely. As a classic of the Gibson, I used to select that guitar in rock band. There's a pause. I've got the lyrics. So good. I like it. Anthropomorphizing music is music being the person. Music is the traveler crossing our world. And I've said this time and time again, you've heard it time and time again. Music is a universal language, and we all try to speak it in an effort to connect with one another. A few other universal languages will be love, respect, admiration, all of those kind of things. But then it's always like money. Money is not a universal language. It's fungible, but it's corrosive. of a metal riff. Here we go. Oh. And there's Knights in White Satin recommended there. Dude, that is so fire. I love the energy. I love the lyrics. I'm loving the Moody Blues. I'm thoroughly convinced now that they are a band worth listening to. I feel like the messaging for sure has me extremely I feel like extremely seen, and I relate so, I mean, I think we all do, but I feel like they just kind of get a lot of the issues that plague us, and when you have like powerful voices in the musicians of the world that tour and try to spread these positive messages, or at least unique perspectives on things that we may not often think about consciously ourselves, it kind of forces us to confront these issues using the lens of art. Music being one of my favorite arts ever, it makes it all the more fun to enjoy, because it's like you get to enjoy the musicality and you get to learn the life lessons along the way. So I feel like I get to come away from a listen like this as a better person, as you guys might as well. Yeah, fun riff at the end, by the way. That felt very metal to me. If we were like tuned down like to a drop, I don't know what tuning, drop B or something like that, and you went into like more of a genty style, I could totally imagine this song uniquely enough being re-envisioned in a sort of metal form. But I like that we got that pure rock energy. I think the one minor complaint that I have about this song is just the recording quality. Like a lot of the guitars and a lot of the heavier distorted sounds kind of blended together as we were hearing it, channeled through our headphones. So if there is a remastered version of I'm Just a Singer, I'd probably rather hear that one instead of what we got here, but also it's kind of endearing the level of sort of rawness in the instrumentation, because this is just pure energy coming from the soul. Whether we can hear it very clearly or not almost is besides the point, because it's already good enough from that perspective. But let's talk about the lyrics, man. Again, I feel like this song, I'm Just a Singer, it starts in a very sort of humble place. I'm just a singer. I don't claim to know more about this life than you do. I am just a human figuring it out alongside you. And I get the benefit of sharing my perspective with many people out there, but I'm also one to change my perspective and learn from others. But notably, there's a smaller segment of the population, but it ends up being a lot of people who don't necessarily have the best interest of others, themselves, or the world at heart. The there is usually that like cabal, the people who destroy the world, who don't necessarily care, who are willing to hurt others for their own personal gain, whatever that group represents. They won't stop. That's just how they are, and if they decide to, well, it's going to be at the hands of people who are very moderate in their views, who just want to live in a peaceful, loving world. And those voices are not loud enough. And maybe that's my own perspective, and there's so many others out there who are fighting the good fight, and I do see that. But I also really hope that more voices start speaking up about what is important for us as a society, as individuals. I feel like somewhere along the way, and maybe several points along that way, we kind of lost our value system, or at least we've allowed it to be kind of co-opted And the problem with you having a value system that wasn't yours to begin with is you will fall for anything. That quote, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. You're shakeable. You are wherever the wind blows, and the wind blows in this society right now wherever the money flows, unfortunately. And so if that persists, and if those who are extremely exorbitantly wealthy past what is reasonable in a world where we could immediately eliminate hunger, immediately eliminate poverty, starvation, so many issues of homelessness globally, we could end so much suffering, and we choose not to. But was it our choice? Was that the value we selected? We probably didn't consciously select that outcome, but we agreed implicitly to some of the value systems that were given to us by others because it served us in the short term. But if enough people start hoarding more for themselves, that scarcity mindset, that propagates forward, and the issues compound year on year on year. And you can see the numbers bear out. Even if you just simply look at income inequality, the distribution of wealth globally, and definitely like in the United States, is at one of the worst points it's ever been globally, ever. I mean, you know, not to be Nostradamus, but that is a sign of the times in some sense. And I don't want to see this world go down in flames. I want to see people joyful all the time. And we can choose that life. So, if anything, I hope you come away from this reaction and listen with me today just a little bit happier, however that looks like for you. I really wish the best for each and every single one of you. I love music, I love life, I know you guys do as well, and that's why I really appreciate you guys sticking with me until the end here and just being the person that you are. You know, I don't necessarily know you on a personal level, but I see you as the human that you are, and I love you, care for you, and let's make this world a better place, shall we? But anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this reaction today. If you did and would like to request one yourself, you can do so, again, by using the link in the description box. But thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and peace.